kind of beautiful.
Yeah. It might move.
Yeah, maybe.
This kind of reminds me of when we were in Osaka.
Yeah.
Did you have this last time?
Yeah, I think so. Or I might have got the tsukune. Oh yeah.
Should I put this on as well?
Yeah, definitely. Oh.
It smells spicy.
Oh yeah.
My American slurp.
Yep. Oh. Oh yeah. Probably.
You can really see the water from up here and what it's like down there. I want to see.
Bless you.
So blue.
Yeah, so good.
You can see the water like better.
Yeah, good point.
I
Okay.
wonder where Mount Fuji is.
Yeah, I wonder as well. The view is nice.
Why do they make it so big? What's the reason?
Nice.
This is the vegetable.
Yes. Oishi?